thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 287 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about Nerfin, recorded live.
I was waiting for that, Tanner, because this is the first time that we can truthfully say that the live is live, because for the people in the Discord, we are live streaming at the moment. So they not only are they jumping ahead from the Sunday night people, they are jumping ahead all the way to Wednesday night.
So the Discord is available for all of our...
There's already some first comments going on.
The Discord is available for all of those that are supporting members of the podcast. Get in on the Discord, and this is the first week that we're trying out where they get the live feed, and we might not do the entire episode on the live feed so that the Discord people still have incentive to
listen to something
when Sunday or Monday comes, but we're trying it out.
Yeah,
and
it is funny to see the Discord lighting up right now.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, my name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
And for anyone that doesn't know, this show is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At that time, he was working for Image Barbell building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them and calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believes was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling, and it was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, Showdown and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the legendary Texas Power Bar. Check out all their bars, buy all their bars at texaspowerbars.com.
And the live feedback on that ad was great, Tanner.
Okay. Getting rave reviews so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, Tommy, we've got a lot to talk about. We went to the Showdown Meet in Kansas City, and we made it back in one piece.
We did, and we were animals, Tanner.
Yeah, we showed up to Showdown.
We certainly did that.
It
was overall, though. Before we get too far, we'll say overall it was a very good trip, right?
Overall, it was a very good trip.
We made fun.
We made some great time. So that's
some memories for a lifetime.
Yep.
Met some new people we had never met before.
We did
met some old familiar faces, some new familiar faces.
We sold some t-shirts. We drove.
We did a lot of time in the car.
We're in the car for about 20 hours.
We ate some food.
We drank some brewskis,
some crispy
mixies.
Boys. Yeah. We did it all. So should we start? Should we get right into the summary?
I think so.
So it would start back on Friday morning.
Yeah, we took off Friday morning, left from western northeast South Dakota.
You picked me up at my house, but first we had to go to your house to take a picture with the trailer.
Yes.
And the trailer was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, you hadn't seen the trailer yet.
I had not seen the trailer yet. That was the first unveiling of the official Massenomics trailer.
Yep.
And we were talking about it. There was for sure several hundred people, maybe even over the course of a day, 1,000 people that read that trailer, which is kind of cool.
That's true.
On the way back, we had some people honking at us because they were fellow South Dakotans. And I'm assuming it's because they liked the trailer, not because they hated our driving or anything.
Yeah, I assume they saw the Aberdeen, South Dakota, like, hey, we've been there.
Yeah. So that was cool.
That was cool.
But driving down there, a lot of people probably don't realize is we drive... It's about 80 miles straight east to hit I-29.
Yep.
Once you hit Interstate 29, that goes all the way to Kansas City. You don't turn or do anything. You're on that interstate the entire time. So outside of about an hour of the trip, we were on the same road for the next 7 hours.
Yep, that was it. And it literally you get to Kansas City and you get off the interstate for
Whoa, what was it? A block?
Yeah,
I think it was honestly a few blocks, wasn't it? I think we were just a couple blocks up the interstate.
Yep.
And it's funny because going down the interstate, pretty much the only places that you really even notice you're going through would be Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Omaha, and then Kansas City. That was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you kind of go through about 4 places.
Yeah, that's true.
And a few of those, Sioux Falls and Sioux City, Sioux City you probably notice a little more than Sioux Falls.
You don't notice so much, but
yeah.
Sioux City is a little annoying.
Omaha you notice a little bit too because there's like a skyline for some reason.
Yeah.
And other than that, it is a pretty uneventful drive. I had not been, the only other time in my life I'd been to Kansas City was, I think, probably 8 to 10 years ago. I went to Bonnaroo, and that was in a music festival in Manchester, Tennessee. And so we went through Kansas City on the way there. I did not remember, though, at that time. It surprised me now. I just assumed Kansas City, Missouri, that's Midwest still, kind of, isn't it? Right?
It's
just everything's kind of Midwest until you're on the coast. It's sort of the rule. But, I was a little surprised how hilly it actually was.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be a little more flat.
I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little rockier than they were.
So
I think we used that joke at least once on the trip.
We did use that joke. We're also going to discuss all the restaurants we ate here, Tan. And then at the end, we'll rank them in order of best to worst.
Okay.
I think for the most part, there's not going to be a whole lot of debate into this. But the first place we stopped to eat was the Chili's in Sioux City.
Sioux City, yeah.
And man, did it look like they had checked out of that place, right?
Yeah. What did you get there? You got...
I had like the Southwest kind of burger. It had like avocados and...
And I had a quesadilla.
Yeah, yours looked pretty good.
I had a whole case of Diaz.
You did, and it looked like the bar. I don't know. Maybe I forget that we never had like COVID restrictions of any kind until I leave the state and you realize that there's other worlds outside your world. But maybe that was part of it. I don't know, but. The bar it looked like it was just in shambles, and even the restaurant kind of looked half tore apart. But Chili's on the interstate. I don't know what more you've all
been there before.
We have pretty high expectations here, so that would be the first stop for food, and then we took off. That was 4 hours into the trip. That was almost the halfway point.
That was about the halfway point,
and then we continued on down the interstate to. I guess after gas. Besides gas, we didn't really stop.
Then we hit Kansas City,
and
we checked into our hotel at maybe by about 6 p.m. And then we shot over to the Brave Enough CrossFit is where the Showdown is held at,
which was about a half mile from our hotel. It actually turned out to be the spot where kind of everyone was staying. Tim from Go Strong was there. Some Live Large people were there. Other people too. Not remembering them off the top of my head, but there was other people.
Luke Null's uncle.
Yeah, Luke Null's uncle was there.
Who we had breakfast with twice.
So yeah, it was a pretty happening spot, you could say.
Yeah.
But we got checked in, went over to Brave Enough CrossFit thinking, is anyone else going to be setting up right now? Like, what's going to be going on? Is the meet going to be getting set up?
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty much you could say almost the last one.
I would say all the other vendors were completely set up by that point in time. And we got there at like 6:15 and we were told we would be able to get in there at 6. So apparently we maybe got different information.
there was someone trying to sabotage us. It was an inside job.
It worked out okay though, because we kind of ended up with the spot closest to the door. When you walk in the line of vendors.
Yes. Yeah. So for us, you had to walk in and it was not possible to watch the lifting without walking by the Massenomics booth.
And what did we spend? Like, did it take us 2 hours to kind of get mostly set up that night?
Probably around there. Yeah. I'd say around there, which was, and that was to be a point where we were just thinking we nailed this. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
At the Arnold, I feel like we set up for like 3 or 4 hours and we were just like, well, the deadlines, it was like when you're like working on a big project and you just go, the deadline's tomorrow. We did our best. Like, this is it. And that was the Arnold. Remember we were scrambling, running through the back room,
trying to find just like anything we could steal
milk crates
from
to like prop up our shirts higher.
And that was even before the milk crate challenge.
That was before that was big. Yeah. Probably would be even harder to do this year.
That's true. With all those challenges.
So we, in 2 hours, felt very good with the setup that we had. This was our new setup. We had never done it before. It was supposed to happen for the Arnold 2 years ago, but obviously that wasn't a thing. So yeah, it was smooth, and we thought it looked pretty damn good.
I think I liked the way that the setup looked, right? And
we right away, especially the next day, figured out a few very minor tweaks that we want to make. For the most part, no one that would be visiting would probably even really notice.
Right. Just a few things to brand it a little bit better.
To make it pop, you could say.
Just make it pop a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did really work. Everything that we'd kind of planned, though, with it ended up working out pretty nicely, I would say.
Mm-hmm. It definitely did. And we had, what do we have, 12 T-shirts?
Yeah, we brought 12 different designs with us, 3 shorts, brought some flags, silly pints, most all the hats that we had. And what did we sell? We didn't sell very many flags.
No, not a lot of flags, which we kind of assumed.
We sold a lot of hats, even though, contrary to the sign that we had in front of the hats that said don't buy our
we
hats.
actually had to put a sign telling people to not buy our hats. And we'll probably touch on that more later. But yeah, people were breaking the rules there.
Yeah.
Sold a lot of T-shirts.
We did sell a good amount of T-shirts.
Probably about in the range of our optimistic guess. Just because we had no idea what something like this would do.
No, we didn't know.
And
well, what did we do Saturday night after we finished setting up?
Yeah. So we get set up. And it was also funny that pulling up, we're trying to find this place, and it's like in a straight up warehouse district area.
Yeah.
It was just massive buildings that look basically abandoned or very industrial.
Yep.
And then you pull up, and you knew you were at the right spot when you see Big Nick from Live Large standing out front.
Yeah, I like that when we pulled up.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's
like
standing
Big
there.
Nick.
Yeah,
It just feels like this always goes full circle. Like it always comes back to Nick somehow.
Yeah, it does.
And he's telling us, back up here, park here, you can run in.
Yeah.
Because Nick's just always
He
there.
He always saves the day.
Always
for
knows
us.
what's
Yeah.
going on. He's
Yeah.
just always that guy that seems to know too much.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Knows too much.
Yeah. So we got done there, and then we said, we need to go eat again, because at this point it had been like 8 or 9 hours.
Yep.
And I want to make sure, I think we've been saying the name wrong the whole time here, Tanner. So let's figure out what this actually is. It is
Chicken and a pickle.
Is it chicken and a pickle or pickle and a chicken? Kansas City, Chicken and Pickle, Kansas City. That's what it is. Chicken and Pickle, Kansas City. So we're trying to find a place to eat by the CrossFit gym, because we still had a trailer hooked up to your truck. And we didn't want to go back to the hotel and unhook the trailer or go get a lift and mess around with all that. So we're just, what's a place where we can get in, get out, park the trailer, have it not be a huge thing, which means like you're not going downtown or places like that. And this place said it was like a block away, and it had a lot of reviews on Google, which I don't know if that means anything, but in this day and age, it seems like it means something, I guess. So we pull up, and right away, we're looking at pickleball courts. And he goes, I guess that's the pickle part, chicken in a pickle.
I get it.
And then you start thinking, well, am I just going to like a gym? Like, are they actually serving food here? Or am I going to some recreational center? And then you realize this building's like a compound. So not only do they have
pickleball courts,
like indoor / outdoor pickleball courts.
Well, they have
this whole
like indoor, then there's outdoor courts.
Then there's like this outdoor courtyard bar area with yard games. And then there's the building that actually has food and drink. And it was a pretty happening place when we went there still. So that's already the first sign that things maybe are going the right direction, when you go into a place and the music doesn't stop when you enter, you know?
Right.
And it was a cool vibe.
It was.
We got some pretty damn good food for like $12.
Yeah.
That was, and it was, I think I had it like a spicy chicken sandwich of some kind. And I don't remember even what
I'd like a chicken fried steak sandwich type of thing.
And I was very happy with mine.
Oh, it was really good.
We got some bruchachos while we were there.
We got a few bruchachos. Not too many that night.
Not too many. You had to drive a trailer home.
That's true.
You didn't want to overdo it.
Right.
And at that point, we got done there. And we did see, we saw JP Price and a few people that got done setting up at the meet. It's just funny when you leave a meet and then you also see meet people at it.
People there,
because you realize something's going on. It's like the same thing at the Arnold when
you
that's going on. And you can go to any random restaurant.
Like, there's Lane Norton.
Yeah, you're probably going to see someone that you follow or know of on Instagram in a restaurant or a gas station or somewhere when you go to the Arnold. So it's always fun when that happens. And We went back to our hotel. We stayed at a Holiday Inn, so we were kind of living the high life, Tanner. You know, just the finest things for us, and it was pretty nice accommodations. We've stayed at some kind of shitty Airbnbs when we do the Arnold, so
they had enough shampoo and conditioner.
They did have enough shampoo and conditioner for the both of us, which is always really good. The hotel motel memes are going off in the Discord right now.
Yeah.
But we got a decent night of sleep in, and then the next day we go down for breakfast, and the first thing is we're getting our breakfast, and Luke Knoll's uncle is there just really chatting it up with us. And it is funny for someone to talking about lifting and say, "Oh, my nephew's lifting," and you go, "Oh, who is he?" And he says, "Luke," and then you go, "What's his last name?"
Yeah.
And so it's funny that just that's how the connection happens there.
Right.
Yeah. We know who your nephew is, and we're eating breakfast, and I see Tim from Ghost. Tanner's back was to him, and he's going fairly fast, and he was just about out the door, and I go, "Big Tim," and he turns around and sat with us, and that was probably that was the first time we met him that weekend, wasn't it?
I think so. That's probably the first time we've met him in person.
And
I think,
we talked to Tim probably more than anyone that entire weekend.
Yes,
we talked
we
to
did.
Tim a lot, and it was a lot of fun. Tim, we had him on the podcast.
Yeah, go
Probably
back
almost-
and if you haven't listened to that episode with Tim Gristle of Go Strong, make sure to check it out. I don't know what number it is.
It'd probably be last November-ish because it
Okay.
was election night. Because I remember him being kind of being like, "Oh,
edge
guys,
about election
you
night."
election night. It's really late. You're making me do this."
Further solidified with me that Tim's a really good dude and Ghost is a good company, and like anyone that's supporting them is making a good choice. I would say.
Like we kind of had that impression already, but this
right.
just took any doubt out of it completely.
Yeah.
Tim is awesome.
We even hitched a ride,
and
with
we
him
hitched
then,
a ride with him to the to the meet, which was fun too. And we got to the meet that day, and we got there at what, 9-ish? Or no, it was about it was like
between
8 in the morning.
7:30 and 8.
Yeah. We got there pretty early, and it was already a happening place. There was a lot of guys lined up to get in. Most of the vendors were already there, and so we set up shop and said,
we started selling our wares.
we said, let's freaking do this.
Yeah.
Maybe before we get to that though, Tanner, we should
hit him with a little
something.
A little something spicy.
This is called the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by The Strength Co. Grant Brogy was born in the late 80s, nearly 2 decades after Buddy Caps began lifting. Buddy Caps, who you heard earlier in this episode, if you were paying attention. In the late 90s, Grant's brother Jordan bought him the new Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Grant's love for weightlifting began. In 2001, Grant joined the local YMCA and began training with weights. In 2009, Grant discovered the book Starting Strength, and in 2012, as a lieutenant in the Marine Corps, he began teaching Marines this method. In 2017, Grant opened his first gym in Costa Mesa, California, and the Strength Co. was born. In 2020, during a major iron shortage, Grant sought to bring back quality manufacturing of Olympic barbell plates to America. His innovation, adaptation, and can-do attitude brought about the greatest plates made in decades. The plates were accurate, made to last a lifetime. Lost my place because I'm messing around with the computer mouse. And they were also anti-fragile, and they instantly became the go-to plates of hundreds of lifters at Massenomics Gym. Get your own set of the Strength Co plates at thestrengthco.com. That's thestrengthco.com. Tanner, I'm also very thirsty from all of this talking we're doing already. Should we crack into a cold one here?
Absolutely.
I think, did we have a can last week to follow up our coffee milk or whatever the hell that was called?
Yeah, we had the pumpkin spice.
Oh, that's right. Okay. We have had this can in the last 2 months for sure. I don't know if you want to guess or if you just want to drink it, Tanner. That's on you.
I don't know. What do they think? Maybe the Discord has an opinion?
What's the Discord think? Do we make Tanner guess a can he's already had, or do we just go for it?
Oh, they already think it's cherry Coke.
The cherry Coke. Do it. Okay.
right.
So people are thinking,
They're clamoring
send
for
it. Peach pear, okay, yep. All right. They want Tanner to
That's
guess.
enough helping me.
Tanner is suited up.
Well, they'll all be able to know what it is too.
Yeah, he's got the official blindfold on. I'll give him a little peek here.
The clue
So
word
I'm
is
grabbing the can. Let me see. I'll hold it up.
crispy.
I'll hold it up for the camera. I think these guys. Let's see here. Let me get it close to camera for everyone.
That might be just good practice to
Okay.
do with for the can anyways, just making sure everyone watching on YouTube has a real good look at what it is.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Okay. So
Okay.
Tanner's got the can.
Okay.
It's
cold.
It's kind of like a magician doing a trick. You know, they know what's going on, but you don't. You're the unsuspecting person here.
I'm smelling cola. Fruity flavored cola.
Still good. Still good.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
It's cold.
It is good. I do not remember what this is, though. Is this? Let me try again. I don't know for sure. This wasn't the watermelon one, is it? Or
Is it? Is it? You can't ride the line, Tanner. That is the rule.
I don't think that's. Let me try one more. I'm gonna very unconfidently say that it's watermelon, sparkling water.
Okay, go ahead and take a look.
Is that what it? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So it's pasteke.
Pastec, yeah. There it is.
Nailed
Got it.
Nailed it. I wouldn't have got that had we not had it before.
Tanner, maybe we could give you one of these for a little excitement for everyone.
Kick things up a notch.
The crowd is going wild for you.
We're kind of kicking it old school this week without a guest, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. It's been probably. Has it been? It's been a few months for sure. I think the last one we did without a guest was Ask Massenomics, probably. Oh, I don't know if that was 10 or 20 episodes ago.
It's been
For sure more than 10,
It's
actually.
been a while.
Yeah, it has been. It has been.
So did we get to the end of, or we made it to the gym on Saturday? That
Made
was
it to
kinda
the
where
gym
we're
on
at.
Saturday, and we
The box. I'm sorry, the box.
Yeah, yeah. Don't mess it up. There's a name here.
Yeah.
And we were ready to sell some shit, weren't we?
Hmm.
And Saturday was pretty good for sales. People were
Yeah.
buying tees. Not many people were buying shorts because why would they? We don't allow just anyone to have
That's
those
right.
things. We were accepting credit applications for people for the shorts starting on Saturday. There's
The best
people-
thing about these in-person things, you got to get all the good one-liners ready because a lot of people come up and so you don't know when people come up. That's the thing at these things. You don't know if they already know, like
if they're in on the joke or not.
Yeah, they could either be a super close follower of Massenomics
And just playing it close.
they might not know about Massenomics at all prior to this almost, and like they don't know any of the jokes, or it could be somewhere in between. And some people really slow play it.
Oh.
They won't let you know that they're like a fan.
Because
or-
there's some people that straight up go, they like look and they're like, oh, $30 for shorts. Damn, that's pretty expensive. And you're like you kind of just assume
Yeah.
everyone's fucking with you, but at the same time, you're like, really, dude? Is it though? And then
Yeah.
the smile comes
Yeah.
out eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anyone that played any of that and didn't know what they were doing.
No, I don't think so. Everyone kind of didn't know, but
So it is always funny getting people's reaction. We said it does kind of feel like when you're, I don't know, known for something or have a stand-up bit and people are like, do the joke, do it, come on, do it, tell that joke.
do the thing about the expensive shorts.
Yeah, it's just like, dance, come on, go. And people are just waiting for us to do it.
Yeah.
And it is really funny because in our heads, it feels like it's been done 1,000 times. Because it has been done 1,000
Yeah,
times
yeah.
online. But just in person, people love to laugh
Yeah,
about it.
it-
And
they
if
do.
people love to laugh about it, then we do too.
And I love like the one guy that lifted. He lifted Saturday, and he comes up Sunday, and he brings his wife, and he was
Oh, and
Real-
I can't remember his name now, but not the type of guy. We just
no, he's a
assume-
monster.
Oh yeah,
You know,
he benches
huge.
like 600.
Yeah, and
something.
he just like
And we just kind of assume, Massenomics is pretty lighthearted. So a lot of times when you take lifting pretty seriously, sometimes rightfully or wrongfully, we assume that maybe Massenomics isn't for everyone.
yeah, like this guy's like a 300 pounds of like.
and he looks like he
muscle.
could just snap you in half.
Right.
He looks pretty intense.
And he comes up and is like the biggest fan.
just
in
cheesing instantly.
He probably, damn it, he's listening to this, and I should know his name, and I just don't remember, but I know he lifted Saturday. Very strong, very big.
Yeah, and he was just going off, laughing so much about it. And he remembered some comment you made about an Arby's turnover. Arby's turnover. Yeah. And he was just cracking up.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what he was talking about. And I couldn't stop laughing because he was laughing so hard.
And then it was great because the next day came up again and his wife was with him and she didn't know anything about it. And he was like kind of trying to explain the inside jokes to her. And we were just having a good laugh about it. And she didn't understand any
And then
of
she
it.
goes, oh, maybe she get a pair of shorts. And he goes, no, you can't afford those.
Yeah, it was just like.
She clearly has no clue what's going on, but she was playing into all of the jokes and without realizing it. So that was really funny the whole time. Yeah, we're just dying. But
yeah. We did get to meet a lot of people that said that they listened to the podcast, that they're...
and that's always really cool. Around here, no one comes up to us and tells us they listen to the podcast that would ever surprise us.
Yeah. I was maybe even surprised by the number of people that said, that they listened to it and that they really like it. And there was a lot of people there that were into the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is shocking. And it was a variety of people. There was a few females that even said they listen.
Yeah.
There was young people, old people, mostly guy people.
Yeah. There was more women buying stuff than what there's way more women that bought stuff in person than buy online.
We probably in those 2 days sold more stuff to women than we do in probably a month or two, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there were several women that bought stuff on Friday or Saturday. The next day on Sunday, they had made some amazing Massenomics crop tops. Better than we've never tried it, but I know we wouldn't be able to do it that well.
No.
And they were rocking it well. They knew what they were doing.
And in general, there was a good amount of Massenomics merch floating throughout the crowd, which was fun to see. Even on Saturday, before we had sold anything there was a number of people that had walked in wearing Massenomics gear. So that was really fun to see too.
Yeah. And Saturday started... So we're kind of jumping around a little bit again, but Saturday started with maybe the biggest flex I've ever seen in my life was the very first person that came up to our booth. He was a big dude. He was a big boy. And he said, what do you have for 4X?
Oh,
was it 4X or 3X?
Well, that was Sunday, wasn't it?
Or sorry, Sunday. That's what I meant. Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday.
I keep getting my days. Was that 4X or 3X?
I think he was... I can't remember if he was 4 or 3.
I can't remember now, but he had asked, do you have my size, whatever that was?
Yeah.
And we said, oh, yeah.
We've got it in this shirt, this shirt, this shirt.
Yeah. And he goes, all right, well, let's do it. And we said, well, what one? He goes, no, just all of them. Just
everyone that you have in my size.
Everyone that he had in his size, which was insane. Yeah. We had 12 different shirts. Unfortunately for us, we had sold out of stock of some of the larger ones, so he didn't get every shirt, but never had anyone say just
like, no, just all of them.
Yep, just I'll take a round here, do all of them.
I'll be back when you have it all loaded up for me.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
Yes.
But looking at the day of Saturday, some big lifts that day.
Absolutely. As far as the meet goes, there was some huge lifts. Really, I was pretty impressed with I knew the roster was impressive of all the people that have said that they were planning on doing the meet, but I was impressed all of them that did show up and did do it, and as few that backed out.
There was no injury bug like you see at a lot of big meets where especially the month leading up to it, people are tearing pecs, pulling ham, all that stuff. It just wasn't happening.
Just to name a few.
And maybe before we get into the details, we should read one more ad.
Okay.
And then I'll get the actual, because it is up on Open Powerlifting.
Okay.
I can get the actual meet pulled up here.
Speaking of reading this ad, did you know that today's show is brought to you by Hybrid Performance Method? The Hybrid Strength Coach app is here, and it is stacked with the most popular hybrid training programs, coaching videos, exercise demonstrations, and instructional images to ensure your technique is on point. World-class training programs designed by the greatest minds in strength, delivered straight to your mobile device. The Hybrid Strength Coach app sets a new standard for the industry, providing a streamlined platform for athletes of all backgrounds and putting the power of the strongest team in your hands. The Hybrid Strength Coach app programs include access to program-specific private Discord communities. Shout out private Discord communities. For live access to real-time feedback from the hybrid coaches. That's on the Hybrid Strength Coach app. It is a cool thing. You get the app and you've got it all right there in the power of your hand on your handy mobile device.
Real-time follow-up, Big Alex says, jokes aside, I use hybrid nutrition coaching. It's been helpful for me. With rave reviews like that, how could you not sign up?
So Big Alex uses hybrid nutrition coaching. Ask him if he made sure to use code MASS. I'm actually asking him right now. Am I not? Did you use code MASS?
You don't have to talk through me, Tanner. He can hear what you're saying. He said I did.
Well, Big Alex is smart. You know why? He saved himself 5%.
Massive 5%.
And I don't know if Alex knows this or not, but it actually saves you that 5% for the entire lifetime of your membership. It doesn't just it's not a
start
and
and
end.
thing.
No, it's like the entire lifetime of your membership. You get that 5%. And that's good for the training and nutrition programming.
He did say he hopes he doesn't die soon.
Well, hybrid agrees. They don't want to lose a good customer. And we don't want to lose a supporting member.
No, we don't want any.
So for those reasons only, we also hope that you don't die soon. For those reasons and those reasons alone.
Yeah, we can't extend that past anything else. Big Lou also says he'd recommend it. He used it for the last year and a half. And look at him. Speaking of that,
Speaking of looking at Big Lou,
probably the only Discord supporting member that was there that was at the Showdown, right? Or am I missing someone?
Let's think.
I know we didn't take a real scientific roll call.
And
but
it would be weird if someone was there that is a Discord supporting
didn't
member
tell
and
us.
didn't because I would know every single one by sight.
Yeah.
But if there's someone there that's let us know if you're on the Discord and you were there and you're a supporting member. Also, shame on you for not telling us at that point in time. But as far as we know, Big Lou is the
kind of
only
like the guy that was there in a Massenomics varsity tee and took way too long to come talk to us.
I actually had to go talk to him.
You had to go talk to him.
And it wasn't
There
even like he was wearing the lift shirt. He was wearing the Massenomics varsity
which isn't a
tee.
shirt that you just go, oh, that's really cool. I got to get that.
Yeah.
It does look really cool, but it's weird to get a shirt like that if you don't know what the brand is.
So I had to go up to him and tell him he looked like the best dressed guy in the whole room, and I feel like he appreciated that. Yeah. But just speaking of other random guys wearing Massenomics stuff, before I forget.
Oh, just quick though, Big Lou.
Oh yeah,
our takeaway was taller than we expected, right?
Yeah, that was a immediate takeaway.
It was
for like everyone in the Discord.
He's about the same height as us.
Yeah, Big Lou is he's taller than what you expect. We promise you that. Big
I'm
Lou
sure
never.
everyone in the Discord can just breathe a sigh of relief now that they know how tall Big Lou is.
Yeah. Big Lou is a good guy, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's been
we got to ride in his car, too.
Yeah.
He also gave us a ride one day.
in the 2010 Malibu.
Mm-hmm. He had to one-up me. I have a 2009 Malibu.
Yeah. And he used that opportunity. Big Lou has been pushing for gold curl shorts
to really give us his best pitch
to
on
really
why
butter
they should
us
exist.
up on the gold curl shorts.
Yeah, so he does kind of have an in over anyone else.
That's
in
true.
The
He did
direction
give us
of,
that ride.
in the direction of our apparel releases for the future of the company.
He's taking it to a whole nother level by bribing us with rides.
He literally drove us several blocks, so he had some quality time with us, one-on-one time, away from the meet.
And Lou was there running the Obsidian Ammonia booth for the weekend, and if I don't say so, he did a hell of a damn good job running it.
You would never know that it's not his first booth, right?
You wouldn't know. I really don't actually still know what he did over there because he's kind of on the opposite side.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see him. He was kind of far away.
We didn't get too far from our booth other than bathroom breaks.
Got to protect the vital supplies. Can't
keep
just leave
close eye on the lift shorts.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk about the lifts part? This would technically be our big lift segment, right, Tanner?
Yeah, I think this is an official big lifts segment.
So we are in pounds. Open powerlifting. We'll talk about the guys for now. We'll save the girls for the next part.
Okay.
But in the guys, John Hack was the big winner of the day with an insane 2,216 pound total,
breaking the 198 total record in sleeves,
Yep.
the 220 total record in sleeves, and the 242 total record in sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
All with him weighing and making the 198 weight class.
Yeah, and he did that with a 750 squat, a
580
bench, and an 887 deadlift.
Yep.
And he actually made a mention of this in his post on Instagram that I think he said he felt like both of his quads were tearing on his last squat or something.
Well, and John was hanging out right by.
He was not far from us,
booth,
and we both said it looks like he's not having a good time.
No, after he got done with squat, I was like, "Ooh, it's." I honestly had the feeling like, "Oh, I wonder if maybe he's having a bad meet."
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a lot of emotion usually,
Right.
and he kind of seems like he's not happy right now.
Yeah.
It was sort of our takeaway.
Yeah.
I mean, he was also pretty. He wasn't like screaming or throwing a fit.
No,
but John Hack is usually just sitting and chilling.
Pretty even keel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he just looked like he was maybe not having a fun time.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. Yeah, he must be having a bad meet. Well,
Right.
We were clearly
best meet of all time.
Yeah. Clearly didn't matter what was going on there.
That bench press was a world record too. Then 580. I never actually did. From where we were at,
It
you
was
could
really
kind of
hard.
see.
It was hard to see though, unless you stood, especially for the big lifts, because everyone would stand up.
For the big
And-
lifts, we'd stand on our chairs.
Yeah, we
which
were in the
would give
back
us-
of the room, so
yeah.
we had to stand on a chair. And even then, everyone puts their hands up with their phone, so that blocks off a ton of stuff. So it was not, for us being at one of the biggest powerlifting meets in the world, it felt like we saw so little of it.
That's true. It's kind of that part of it does kind of stink.
That
because
was, if we had to make one
Yeah.
complaint, that would be the biggest complaint about it. It's just we couldn't see very
Yeah.
often what's going on. And powerlifting still has a tough time putting up any type of scoreboard, if you want to call it that.
That's what would be nice if that part of it was a little bit better.
There was pretty much for every big lift.
Open lifter was on back there, but it's just
Oh, it was on
you
a.
know,
It's a huge room, and it was on like a 40-inch TV in the corner, which
right.
doesn't do anything for besides like the 4 people in the front row. But
It'd be great if on a 60-inch TV it just said like the weight that's being attempted.
and then another 60-inch TV with there's just like one enormous screen.
Yeah,
But yeah,
right.
or 5 that all have one.
But even
thing
if it was
on
just even if it was a 50-inch TV and all they put on there was the weight of the
Yeah.
attempt, you could see it throughout everywhere. You
Well,
know, if it was up high.
and it's even one of those things where the whole red light system, where it's 3 lights.
Yeah.
Even if just the lights they had just one space above it where it just said the weight on that. That would
Right.
take care of the problem too.
Yeah, because the lights on the screen we could see.
Yeah,
Pretty
you could see
well.
those just
Yeah,
fine. And I
yeah.
think everyone in the room could. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it was very frequently that we would ask people either standing in front of us or someone
How
at the
much was
Ghost
that?
booth,
Yeah.
what is that, or what are they going for, or what was it? Because
Yeah.
we had no idea hardly ever.
Like when with John Hack's bench, I was like, oh, it's had to have been close to 600. And Garrett Fear was announcing the live stream, and he came up like right after it. Garrett kept checking in with us.
He kept.
the process.
We could have.
Actually, yeah, that's a funny story.
We
yeah.
could have actually been guest announcers on the live
Yeah,
stream.
He asked us a few times if we would fill in for him on the live stream, one of us, and we debated it.
Because it
And
would be fun to go on.
and we could get a lot of Massenomics talk in there. But our problem is neither of us had done any homework on that, and we don't want to get up there and sound stupid. I'm confident that
Like we have an
yeah.
hour plus every week where we sound
Right.
stupid here.
Yes.
We don't need to go sound stupid in front of people that aren't in on the joke.
If I knew a week ahead of time and I had time to prepare on all the lifters and have make
some
sure to
notes
have some things
and
to say,
just know, is this guy going for a PR? Has
Yeah.
he done this before?
Right.
Is this a good lift for him?
but I don't want to hop up there and be
580. That's a
When
good
I also
bench.
if John Hack's up there, I can commentate on his. I kind of already
Yeah.
know, or if Jonathan Oldham's lifting, I can commentate on his. But some of the guys I don't know.
there
near
was
as
like
well.
58 lifters.
Right,
It's just
right.
you have to be the biggest follower of this stuff to know what's going on with all of it. There was a fair number of people that I'd never even heard of.
So we did decline.
Yeah,
the,
but
opportunity to jump
it
on
was
the live
offered
stream.
several times,
Yeah.
and we did. We just had to keep declining because we didn't need to look that stupid.
No,
So
maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
next year. I guess we were reading the lifts though. I should bring the lifts back up here. Other guys.
So John won the meet.
Yes, John won. The first thing that really felt like, wow, this is big time right now, is when Joe Sullivan and
Jordan Wong. Yeah.
were going at it with squats, and they were really going at it to the point where
Yep.
they were like starting to chip each other, and then they both were going to go for 4th attempts, and the place was going nuts for that.
Yeah. So Joe broke.
That felt like you were watching a sporting event
Right.
because it wasn't unfolding over the course of an entire day. That whole squat back and forth was taking place over the course of 10 minutes?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
towards the end, when they're getting to the 3rd and 4th attempts,
That was
they're the
really
only ones
exciting.
left.
Yeah.
So it was getting to the point where those attempts were taking place, 3-4 minutes apart?
Yeah.
Like it was enough for them to be like, what's going to go on the bar? Oh, he's chipping over there. And the crowd,
yeah.
like the weight's going and the crowd knows what's happening and everyone's getting psyched.
That was really
He
cool.
hits it and then, all right, here's the rebuttal. He's going to chip him again. And it kept going back and forth. And that was one of the more exciting powerlifting things I've actually seen from a competition standpoint.
That was really cool. And Joe didn't, because Joe broke it on his second. Jordan beat him on his third. Joe re-broke it on his third. Jordan took a fourth to try to chip Joe. He didn't get it. I asked Joe afterwards, were you taking a fourth? You know, if and he had said his plan was no, but he also kind of like alluded that, you know, who knows.
In the heat of the moment, it's hard to say.
In the heat of the moment, most people are going to try it, I think, you know. But it was really fun.
Yep.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah, people were going nuts for that. That was for sure a highlight for me. One of the highlights.
Yeah.
Other one that day would be old Big TD Smash.
Yeah, that was maybe the most like for just, I don't know why.
The crowd was going wild for that one.
And we talked to TD several times throughout the weekend, and what I told him is I think it's like he is such a nice guy. Everyone likes him so much. I feel like the whole room is like behind him. There, there's not a person
everyone
in there
wants to see him
that doesn't
win.
want to see him do well. And so he went for the world record, the biggest bench ever in a full powerlifting meet, 716 pounds. So he went for it on his second.
And we watched it and thought it was going so fast and he missed it. It was just like he hit a wall and just missed it in the last, quarter of it, basically, last third.
So he retook it on his third.
And we said that looked weird.
Yeah.
That seemed like he shouldn't have missed it.
Right.
And then he went for it on his third and got it. And we talked to him afterwards and he basically just said, I kind of had sort of a weird handoff. I think he said he maybe sort of misgrooved or lost some tightness.
And the place went pretty wild when he got that. He gets up and plays to the crowd a little bit, and the whole place is going pretty nuts. How many people do you think were there on Saturday? I would guess there was
it's hard
with the competitors and everyone. There was over 500 people there.
Yeah.
But probably there might have been like 700 people there.
There could, at its busiest moments, probably.
On Saturday.
Yeah. I'd say the average was probably closer to that 5-ish.
Yeah. So that bench was pretty awesome, though. That I think it's 716 is the number, whatever it was. That was one of the most exciting moments, though, I think, is when TD got that bench. Jonathan Oldham, sponsored athlete, of course, did not get a squat in. He got his first two attempts called for depth, red lights, and then his third one also he retook like 771 or whatever that weight was, and definitely went deeper on that one and still got two reds. And
it's shitty. That's just the way it goes.
That's pretty shitty. Like
it did look like he just buried it on the last one. It really did.
And that sucked. And I don't know if you saw the videos of his reaction, because someone had a camera right on him, like when he turns around, and that's a pretty shitty moment when you realize that he was just I think he finished it and his thought was oh fuck yeah,
finally
it's been tough. We had a rough couple attempts and I was nervous and shit, but I got it here. We're gonna move on to the bench press, and he turns and they give him the reds, and it's almost what
really? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah, it did suck.
That seemed like to me it looked like a good lift, I guess, for what it's worth.
From our vantage point in the back of the room, right?
Well, and Jonathan made it kind of, because we hung out with him quite a bit throughout the weekend, obviously, and he made the comment even well, from what I've heard, everyone in the room except for two people thought it was a good lift, and the two people were on the left and right of him. Yeah.
I know.
But he wasn't complaining about the judging, though, and he even said well, it's probably my fault because I made them. By the first two attempts being high, they were thinking about it a lot, and then had those prior ones not been high, maybe it would have went another way on that one. But that did suck bells.
Yeah, it does. And I suppose, you do enough powerlifting meets, you'll have something of everything happen. And unfortunately, that's what happened for him. But
sometimes you eat the dog, and sometimes the dog eats you.
Yeah.
Or the bear.
Lifts. We should talk.
Was there more big ones?
And there was. It's just there's just so much.
Another big one of the other biggest moments was the deadlift with
yes,
Jamal Browner and
Dan Grigsby, and that was we had never heard of him.
no.
Jamal seems maybe, especially on Instagram, kind of unassuming. Like, how does this guy pull this much?
Right.
And
When
then
you see him in person, you're like,
how just thick and
Yeah.
developed, especially his upper back is.
Yeah.
And you go, well, yeah, it makes total sense. There's no
Yeah.
surprise here.
Yeah, when you see him in
And
person, it's
he's
like,
also
yeah.
probably taller than I think most people would assume too.
He's a big dude.
He is.
Jamal
Yeah,
is,
he's
yeah.
solid for sure.
This Dan Grigsby also makes sense why he deadlifts as much as he does when you see him.
He has like slabs of meat hanging off his legs. I don't know if he knows that, but it looks like there's something wrong with him.
Another thing I would say about the people there in general, there was so many enormously muscular dudes there where I was like, holy shit, you don't actually realize
that
how big these guys all are.
Yeah, that enormously muscular. And then just there was also a certain number of guys that were like 6'5" and like 360 and absolutely insanely jacked that had kind of either never seen or only seen very in passing. And then you see him in person.
We know that one guy's name. He was like 6'6" and a monster.
It was when you're like,
I don't know what he
when you
actually
go,
totaled.
Holy shit, look at the monolift. And that guy had the thing. I've never seen someone look so tall in a monolift.
And
before.
I heard like even the other lifters and numbers of people remark on this guy just because he looked crazy.
There was at one point I was walking out of the building and I walked right by him. And the only time I've ever felt small like that was like when Brian Shaw or someone walks by you at the Arnold and you go, okay, yeah, these guys occupy so much space.
Right.
And this guy, it was the same. I turned around to look at you, Tanner, and you weren't paying attention. But I'm just thinking, I feel like a baby right now. Like he could pick me up just under the arms and set me wherever he wants so easily. Like he was as wide as like three of me. And I'd never seen him. And there was multiple people that we asked, who is that? And they go, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
he was one of those guys that apparently came out of the woodwork.
we'll have to just click through all the Instagrams on
Right.
Open Powerlifting to see if we can figure out who he is. But
Grigsby, though, so they went, him and Jamal both ended up trying to pull the 1,000 pounds.
well, and I think they both, I don't know what
did they
Jamal's,
both pull 970 or did
yeah,
Jamal?
I don't know what I think both their openers were over 900,
Yeah,
weren't they?
and I think Dan's second was 970. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
Jamal
think he
also
opened
took
at
that.
930. Which who opens at 930?
Yeah.
It's just so. And Jamal was just behind him. But how many times has Jamal done a meet where he hasn't been the last one to deadlift?
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
And the crowd was pretty hyped for that one too.
And for both of their 1,000, if either of them would have got that 1,000 pounds,
Yeah, so they both it was 1,003, wasn't it?
yeah, I think that's what it was.
And Jamal was right
it
there.
was a very good
for
effort.
neither one of them. I don't think it was a grip issue for either one.
They
just couldn't
both gave it a
quite
good run.
lock it out. Yeah, they
Yeah.
broke it from the ground. They just could not quite lock it out.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to see though in person.
Yes.
It would not shock me if sometime in the next year either one of those guys gets it.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
that was a surprising one. We never heard of that Dan Grigsby before.
And then Kevin Oak was there lifting. There was a lot of people that were fun to watch.
Yeah.
Only downside is though, just like what you said, we couldn't see a lot of it all that well.
Well, and plus we're also selling t-shirts. So
right. Yeah.
there's, for the most part, when there was a big lift going on, everyone kind of knew.
Yeah.
And they were, it was all eyes on the lifting, but it was also a lot of people that just wanted to talk and see what's going on. So you could get totally lost in time and have no clue where the meet was.
True.
We didn't know what flight it was in, what attempt they were on.
You always
the
could tell
majority
when
of the
like
time.
there was a world record coming up, like the whole room kind of.
Yeah, there was enough buzz around that,
Right.
but yeah, we did lots of talking the whole weekend, and we also did meet Ben Pollock finally.
Finally, Big Ben.
And he is big.
Massenomics sponsored lifter.
He's very big.
Talk about muscular. Ben looks is insane. Like Ben's physique is insane.
We took a picture and I put my hand on his back.
Yeah.
And you know when you're rock climbing, there's those nubs that hang out of the wall. It felt like he had one of
on
those
his back.
in his shoulder. Like
Yeah.
if I had to climb a wall, I could just grab that knob on Ben's back and just climb to whatever
Didn't
spot
you
I
even
needed to
say
be.
to
I
you,
did
like,
say,
"What is-
Ben,
there's something on your
Yeah,
back
they have a
there."
growth on your shoulder here. I think you want to check that out.
The first day, on Saturday, he was wearing the "Don't Curl in Me" tank top, I think, and
He was putting out vibe.
he was putting out a vibe in the "Don't Curl in Me."
He was kind of hard to miss.
Yes, he was.
He just Actually, you'd kind of lose sight of him, and then he would just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You'd see him all the way across the room, spotting someone or doing up at the front, recording lifts. And
Ben's a very nice guy, though.
yeah, makes me very glad that.
And we've got some Ben Pollock things that we're going to be working on in the future here that I think will be pretty funny, and everyone will get a good.
I think so. We threw some ideas at him, and he was either being really nice or he actually loves the ideas. So we'll figure.
No,
we'll find out.
I think he's on board, and I think we'll have some funny stuff here soon.
Yeah. So Friday or Saturday. Oh, we also, while we were there, everyone kept recommending this Hawaiian restaurant, Hawaiian
yes.
Bros.
Yes.
And we got that. The people in the ghost booth next to us recommended it as well.
Yeah.
Because we look over and we just see people eating enormous trays of rice and meat. And how could you not be on board with that?
Yeah.
And we ordered that, and it was pretty damn good.
It was very good.
So good, we had to get it again on Sunday.
It was very good. You know, it was basically meat and rice.
Yeah, really good flavored
Right,
meat
right.
and a shit ton of rice.
And we were right next to the ghost booth all weekend, and just shout out to all of everyone in their crew. Just really good.
Well, Tim, obviously,
Yeah.
and Brett and Sarah and Abby. They were all really cool people to be next to for the weekend.
They were like, and we've, you know, like at the Arnold, who were we next to on both sides of us? They're like
Two supplement companies I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
There was one right next to us and one across from us. I'd never heard of either one.
And then on the other side, wasn't it the people selling
and it
like
was the NPC
19
gear.
Yeah.
So, and
It's
then
like,
kind
they're-
of sort of kitty corner was Huck Finn. So,
yeah, and like the supplement booth next to us, hopefully whoever it is doesn't listen to the podcast or whatever, but like they kind of sucked.
at the Arnold.
Yeah, at the
Yes,
Arnold.
yes.
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
Arnold.
they were just annoying.
And it makes it way more fun when the people next to you in the
Are
other
cool
booths-
people.
yeah,
You can actually talk
right,
to them,
right.
and you're kind of in the same space, and they're normal too.
Yeah.
That always helps.
And same to be said for the Live Large
Yes,
crew.
and
It's
Nick
nice-
Nick came over and
Yeah.
talked to us a lot.
Yeah.
He had a whole crew working, so I didn't think he had to stick to his booth too close because
No.
he talked to us quite a bit. And it's always awesome catching up with Nick because there's very few people in the world that probably know the space kind of in
Yeah.
or can share as much I don't know, just stories
just
and
stuff that's good to hear, you know, just that is really helpful.
validation and
Yeah.
you know, coming at things from a similar perspective as us.
Right. And then we got to meet the rest of the team, you know, Kevin
And Anna, right? Anna? Is that his
Kevin's
name?
wife, yes.
And we'll talk about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
we got to meet them. But yeah, Live Large, everyone in their group is awesome and a lot of fun. So
Then there was also the First Form booth there.
oh yeah, First Form had a booth and
Andy Furcilla was over hanging out with us quite a bit. He's like
Except
taking
no.
notes on what we do.
except he did several people, it was like 3 different people from First Form were very curious on what we had going on and said, wow, these are just such cool, unique t-shirts. So they didn't buy anything, but they thought our stuff was cool.
But they did pay us lip service.
They did go out of their way to tell us we had cool stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're probably telling Andy Frisilla that he needs to work up a multi-million-dollar deal to buy us out.
Yes.
Or just trade us some of his cars or something and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So the day ends. Saturday ends. People are talking about what's the next stop? What are we going to do next? Supposedly there was an after party at,
JP's GM Strong
Strong.
Barbell Club.
and at this point we're thinking, well, we've been running around selling t-shirts, moving stuff around,
For like the
setting
last
up.
12 hours.
Yeah, on our feet. We're kind of just tired and sweaty and just want to and then we had cash too. We had to drop
Yeah.
off cash and kind of just needed to hit the reset button. So we went back to the hotel room, got cleaned up, rethought our life out, and we thought, maybe we just need to it's been a long day. Maybe we just need to just pick a spot to go get some food and we'll see.
Have
where
a beer.
yeah,
or
so we'll
two.
see where the
Yeah.
night takes
Yeah.
us. And I pick another spot kind of by Chicken in a Pickle.
Kind of by near close to Chicken.
It was a block away.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And that was kind of almost getting close to the spot where Tanner and I walked in and brought the average age down by like 30 years.
Yeah, it looked like a nice.
It just kind of
it-
seemed like
your
a
run-of-the-mill
local
sports bar,
yeah.
local sports bar.
And I already forgot what it was called.
That's how memorable it was.
Yeah, I already forgot what it was called. But
Yeah.
when we walked in, it wasn't very happening. And it was definitely an older crowd.
Yeah.
Like we're in our early 30s, and we were the youngest people there by a lot.
Absolutely.
So I thought, man, we kind of messed this one up.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. We'll get our, you know what? We've been like in a wind tunnel of just people yelling and music playing all day.
The quiet wasn't terrible.
The quiet could be okay. So this is fine. And so we eat there and we have a few drinks, and then it's, well, right next door is a brewery. Maybe we should just go there for a beer. We're out. So we go there and have a brewery. And this was one of the funnier things is we walk in and the bartender goes, hey guys, just so you know, last call's in 45 minutes.
And this was at what time? Like,
was it
like
9:45?
Yeah.
Which, first of all, it's a Saturday night. Why does a brewery close shortly after 10? There was no one in there. I guess maybe that answers the question, but why is there no one in there? And I've never had a bartender give me a heads up on a last call for 45 minutes out.
Just want to let you guys know, last call is in 2 hours.
Right. Like, I feel like everyone should know this. So
just in case you were planning on drinking that beer for over an hour.
So that really made it feel like, well, this probably isn't going to be picking up steam anytime soon. So we had a beer there. And then it was, well, where do we go next? And at this point, Chicken and a Pickle was pretty much across the street.
We're like, well, trust the old Chicken
we went
and a
there last
Pickle.
night, and it was kind of happening.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go for one more drink.
I would say at this point in time, I was also thinking, you know what? I am so tired right now. Like, we could have literally, we're even like, I suppose we'll go somewhere else. Try one more spot and have like one more beer.
And by now,
and I was kind of like, yeah, it's going to be nice to just go to bed early and like not feel like shit the next day.
And so we go to Chicken and Pickle. It's probably a little after 10 o'clock. And it was definitely slower than, because it was later.
Yeah.
So it was definitely slower than it was the night before. When we walked in the night before, it was almost hard to find a table.
Yeah.
And the dining area was pretty much empty. The bar was pretty much empty. We walked right in. We saw a few people wearing some Live Large stuff, but we were kind of just in our own world. We walked straight to the corner of the bar, sit down, order a drink, and we're sitting there. And a couple minutes later, Kevin from Live Large comes over and starts chatting with us.
Yep.
And then not too long later, his wife comes over and starts chatting. And then all of a sudden you look and it's like, this whole restaurant is empty except there's a table that has like Nick from Live Large and there's John Hack and
Andy Huang, that huge Asian guy, and his girlfriend. His girlfriend, well, is Throple actually to be more official.
And there's like Chris Bridgeford, I'm trying to think of who else was there. There was Hunter Henderson there too, I think.
I think that they might have been too, and that Silva.
Yes, Tim.
I don't remember his first name for sure.
I always forget his name.
Yeah.
But
he wears the blue Kansas City dog,
and he's
Kansas City,
and his calves are enormous.
Yes, I did tell him that.
But anyways, there's all these people like from the meet, and it's just funny to be at a bar kind of randomly, and you just see all these people that are they're big name people out and not in a gym setting. It's really funny to me to see gym people not in a gym setting because that's what they're known for.
Right.
And so we're talking and having a great time. And we talked about the life of apparel in the
we really got into it with Kevin and
and we had a lot of laughing and shared stories of the trials and tribulations.
It's like all this stuff that fucks with you fucks with us too.
We're not alone. We're not on an island. And then at one point you were like, all right, we got to go talk to John.
Because John we had talked to him a little bit and he made a couple funny comments and he had already said earlier, it was funny. He goes like, and John's pretty low key, you know, even like when we had him on the podcast, it might have been, you know, I thought it was a decent episode, but he could have left thinking like, I don't know.
You just can't get a read on it.
Right. You can't tell what he's thinking.
Like if he got done with the podcast and he told someone the next day, that was the most boring thing I ever did in my life, I'd say, well, yeah. And then if he also said that was fun, I'd be like, okay, I guess. You just can't get a read on the guy.
Yeah. And he goes, you know, I got to tell you guys, that podcast I did with you was like one of the funnest ones I've ever done before.
Which we both said, really?
Yeah. Like, oh, all right.
So then we kind of go corner John Hack. Almost. And right away, it's funny because a few years ago, we both probably would have been fanboying really hard. And we still are excited to see him.
Yeah, just like excited to see Nick and everyone
to the point where
a
few years ago, we probably would even been nervous a little bit to talk to him. And right away, I'm like, I'm trying to remember the frickin' Making a Murderer people, and I cannot for the life of me remember their name. And then I'm like, I'm trying to tell John the story. I'm like, John, I feel so dumb. I can't remember their name. What are the Making the Murder people? He goes, Stephen Avery. And I'm like, oh no, the other one. And he goes, Brendan Dassey. And I go, yeah, on the podcast when you go, I don't know.
Yeah. So he did it a few times. We had a good laugh about it. Making a Murderer Wisconsin accent.
We talked about that, and then we had some behind the scene talks with him about we asked him if the disrespect or the I don't even know if it's disrespect, but it seems like there's arguing sometimes between him and Russell Orey. We asked him if that's real, and so we got to hear his take on what's going on with that.
Right.
And he just kind of had some other kind of funny stories for us. So it was, we were really starting to have a good time. And then out of nowhere comes the bouncer. All right, everyone, get out of here. And at that point, it wasn't even midnight yet, was it?
It was like about midnight, yeah.
And I don't know if we ever got it for sure, but I'm assuming it was a COVID thing is why they do that. I don't know, because there was a lot of people in that bar.
That's one of those rules that, like, some rules I can wrap my head around, and that's one where I'm like, okay, like,
I guess we could be totally wrong. Maybe it wasn't a COVID, but it seems so dumb that why they were kicking us out at midnight.
And that's the drinks, I would say, for both of us had really started flowing at that point. When
I was definitely at the tipping point where now as a younger guy, that was exactly where I was going to say the night's going to get really fun, because this is where things are going to get wild. And now, as a married man, my wife knows when that time's coming. She says, it's time for us to go. And the next day I say, it was perfect.
It was really trending in a spot, though, with that group that was there. It was about ready to get really wild.
I was ready to like really get after it at that point because I was having so much fun. Yeah. And then they shut it down. So we're all walking out of the parking lot. We have no idea how we're going to get home. And of course, like we always do, Tanner, we're bumming rides off of people.
That was the theme of the weekend.
There's Live Large Nick's there. And so we're walking out with the whole Live Large crew. And Nick just happens to drive a pretty nice Audi RS7,
which is a spaceship.
Which is quite the automobile. Yeah. And we hopped into that thing. You got in the front, Tanner.
I got in the cockpit up front.
Yeah, you were the co-pilot. Yeah. And I hopped in the back, and
when he starts that up, it sounds like a jet engine.
It does make a noise. It sounds like there's some power there for sure. And which is insane that is his second car to his McLaren. So not only does he have a McLaren, he has like a brand new Audi RS7. The man's got good taste in cars. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
So
I like his McLaren. His license plate is pizza money.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome too. That's and we did tell Nick that, when we first met Nick like 5 or 6 years ago, we had the lift shirt, I think, at that time. Yeah, we had the lift shirt, but no one knew that we existed. So we were kind of just figuring it out, and we'd asked him, and he gave us some little pieces of advice. And who would have thought that all these years later, Nick talking to some random people at the Arnold, that now they would be giving boosts with him here.
Yeah.
And so we just said, Nick laid the playbook. So next year we are going to be opening up a pizza restaunt and following in Nick's footsteps.
Yeah, we were having some good laughs about how we're just stealing his entire playbook. Yeah.
We're just living Nick's business plan.
South Dakota Pie Co.
Yeah, we're starting the Dakota style pie.
Yeah.
The Dakota Pie Co. is coming to Western Northeast South Dakota.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
So we got that to look forward to in the next few years when we start our pizza joint. Really take things to the next level. But
we could call it pizza and milk.
There you go. Nick was smart enough to take us all to a gas station to load up on Gatorades.
Yes.
That was
get up the QT.
That was a key move. Yeah, we don't have QTs around. We don't have Quick Trips.
Although there is a Gatorade shortage.
There is. They didn't have one that night though, that I noticed.
No, that QT, the Gator.
They were loaded up.
After we were there was a shortage.
Yeah. The next day, the one we went to had nothing in it. Yeah. But got our Gatorade, went to bed, and I passed out pretty good that night. So it was a long day, a lot of action. So sleeping was not an issue.
Saturday night did end up being a lot of fun though.
That was a really good time.
I normally there's not much I love more than going to bed early, but I was just hitting the point where I would have been down for like the full excursion. So in hindsight, on Sunday, I was glad that they did close.
We did both
on
say.
Saturday at the time, I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Like, you're like total Buzz Killington over here making us leave right now. But on Sunday, I was like, oh, really fortunate.
This would have been a really long day.
Like those next 6 drinks would have been the ones that really,
those next 6 would hit a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got up the next day, and did Tim? Yeah, Tim had breakfast with us again. Tim took us. Oh, no. We drove the trailer. Tim had breakfast with us.
Yeah.
But then we took the trailer.
Yeah.
We took the trailer to the meet, got it parked safe and sound, and set up for another day of selling. Tim, maybe we should read an ad right now before we get into Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll catch up on the Discord, see what's been going on.
All right, this episode is brought to you by Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Discord, people, do you know what's in your supplements? If any of you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Let us know in the comments if any of you use Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. They pride themselves on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. Talking about the products, they got a couple pre-workout options. You got your Super Soldier pre-workout and your Mad Titan High Stim pre-workout. Then you got your Healing Factor post-workout, which combines BCAAs with a full serving of creatine, monohydrate, and other great ingredients to help maximize your efforts in the gym, build muscle, and recover fast. Then we get to the Fusion Whey Protein Isolate. Not only does it taste great, it also has 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, and low or no carbs, depending on the flavor. And as long as we're talking about flavors, they've got vanilla ice cream, chocolate fudge, and frosted cinnamon roll flavors. Chocolate fudge, a.k.a. chocolate of some sort. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day, and every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you literally cannot go wrong. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S. That code will save you a huge 20% on your entire order at fusionsp.net.
So, Tanner, there's all types of great conversation in the Discord. I will say it, at least on my phone here, it's happening fast enough that whenever I scroll up to try and catch up on what I missed,
it just sucks you
gives
back
me a new
down.
message and puts me back to the bottom. But people had some ideas for our pizza store, for our pizza restaurant, and there's some people in here with Super Soldier pre-workout.
Nice.
And
I'm a fan of the Super Soldier pre-workout.
It's the real deal.
I don't know if any of them in there are brave enough to try the Mad Titan High Stim, but Super Soldier pre-workout is right up my alley.
There was something else here. Oh, someone here did mention that they had DM'd you to go to Hawaiian Bros.
Yes. Was that big? Actually, more than one person said that. I think Big Eddie was one of the people that I remember said Hawaiian Bros. Got a lot of DMs on the food recommendations when we were in Kansas City, actually.
There was also in here, give the people what they want, ads. And so we have some of that. I got that Super Soldier Gatorade. It's got electrolytes. There's too much going on. I can't keep track of all of it. They said they're surprised we haven't kicked them off yet. So just be a little flavor. Maybe at this point we'll just go the distance.
Yeah, in this episode you'll probably get the full thing, but in the future ones it's going to be shorter than this. You know, it'll definitely be off before the guest gets on. Yeah, it's too much distraction going on at once. Trying to manage it all.
Yeah, it is. We have an unbelievable amount of cords and cords running through this room right now.
But it all works.
It actually is almost a perfect halo around us. We're in our safe little between all the halo and cords. Maybe I'll see here. Maybe I can even give the Discord the wide view of what we got going on here. Oh, look, they can see the headquarters here, how we're all stationed in this room.
Yes.
All right, enough looking behind the curtain. We'll bring it back in a little bit. Okay.
So then we went on to Sunday. We did make it awake on Sunday, got moving, got over there, got back, set up the booth again, started slinging shirts again. There was a smaller crowd on there on Sunday than there was Saturday.
And Sunday was all women for people that weren't up on what was going on.
All the women competitors went, and there was probably a few hundred less people there on Sunday. I think a lot of people got out of there that traveled for a long ways and that weren't competing on Sunday and went back. As far as competitors on Sunday, Christy Hawkins is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd never seen her in person before, and she's also pretty ridiculous.
Yes. She is. She kind of reminds me of like the female version of Ed Cohn's build, where it's
Kind
like,
of a
you
little.
are like built for powerlifting, like with the way you.
I don't think her arms are quite as long.
Right, probably
but
not.
Her arms
yeah.
are really jacked.
Yeah. Yes.
My arms straight up would look tiny next to hers. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. My arms would for sure be tiny.
I think she pulled like 606 on her third, and I know she won overall, which also Herbie was there, Andrew Herbert.
Yes,
We talked to her,
always great talking to him.
He was handling her, and we got to talk to him quite a bit about it on Sunday, and see kind of got his inside take on everything as the meet was going on. So that was pretty fun on Sunday, and he's a really nice dude.
Oh, just so positive.
Yeah.
And always pretty excited to see us.
Yeah.
He's like, Massenomics guys. Oh, just like, oh yeah, you guys.
Also, he is insanely big too.
Yeah.
The muscles on him.
His traps are really crazy.
There's a few people
And
walking
his
around.
arms and pretty much everything else, but
Right. Brianni also has been on the podcast, and she got second overall.
yeah, I think she pulled. I think the
Yeah,
big
what was
lift for
her
her was her 600.
Okay.
Let's see, her 474 squat, 292 bench, and 600 deadlift.
So
And
she pulled 600.
yeah,
okay.
600 is
Yeah,
600 is a big deal, and
Yeah.
that was, you could tell, a pretty important lift for her, and the crowd was hyped for that one too.
Yeah. Maybe still, those 600 deadlifts were pretty awesome, but the one deadlift, the lady that pulled 636.
Yeah.
She
Here,
had
I got it right here.
She had the pretty wild setup where she brings like 1 foot in and gets to get. She got all the
Tamara Walcott.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, 630, and that's the biggest deadlift of all time by a female. isn't
Yeah,
it?
and the crowd was pretty hyped for that one too. That was super
and that
cool.
actually is really crazy because I didn't know that 636 was the biggest deadlift. Like, it makes sense. That is a huge deadlift.
Right.
Brianni's 36 pounds off of that though.
Right.
But that's not out of.
Right. And Christy Hawkins was only like 30 pounds under that.
Was she?
I think she pulled 606 maybe.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
God, just shows how many are like right there.
Yeah.
That's not out of the realm of possibility for them.
Yeah. The other pretty exciting part was when the last flight of women got to their bench pressing, and a couple of them were right around 400 pounds. The place is going pretty wild for that too.
It was it that same lady that Tamara, she benched?
She had a big one, but there was another someone else that was like right around in the flight that was.
She benched 363. Yeah.
There was somebody that I think there was somebody that benched either like 396 or might have been even like right at 4 almost.
Okay. Yeah. I thought, there was, and it's so hard to tell in here because I'm on a phone and I have to go side to side to see the name and the number. But, there's women deadlifting is so crazy because there were several women where we watched, and it seemed like the bar didn't move, and they just kept pulling and pulling and pulling.
The one
and
woman,
then it moved, and it was insane because it doesn't seem like guys can quite do it like that.
That one woman, she pulls sumo. She was tall. She was like taller than me.
Yeah, I had to look, and I already forgot her name, but I did find her in there. She was, she's probably 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there.
She pulled sumo, and she pulled for so long before it broke off the ground, and she almost got the lift, and she passed out.
I'm thinking, why is she still pulling?
Right.
And how is she? Because the bars, it's been several seconds, and it's not moving, and then all of a sudden it starts moving.
Yeah.
And it was a grinder.
And she literally passes out, and we asked her about it afterwards, and she goes, I had to ask them if the bar ever moved off the ground because I never knew. Like, she didn't even know if the bar ever moved, which is wild.
That was one of the more intense just deadlift efforts I've ever seen in my life.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch.
Overall, between the men and the women, though, like the whole atmosphere seemed really positive. It seemed like a lot of people cheering for each other, and like just the powerlifting scene in general. Everything seemed really positive, I felt like.
Yes, everything's very, at least from our vantage, upbeat, positive, encouraging, accepting.
And we even made a few comments about that, like how it is a pretty good melting pot of where, of like, really what matters is how much like you're lifting. Like that's kind of like what people are excited about almost no matter what.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun to see. And also just like all the different people that like Massenomics that we didn't expect necessarily did. It was like, this is really fun.
It still does.
Yeah.
It still is just weird that people like Massenomics.
So for at least from maybe someone else has a different take on it or whatever, a different experience. But from our point of view, it was a really positive weekend all together. You know, just like everything was really
the first time we've got to do basically any type of networking outside of the Arnold 2.5 years ago or whatever that was.
Right. Got to talk to some more people that we need to get on the podcast soon. Hunter Henderson, figured out we should be able to get that lined up fairly soon. Herbie, get him on soon, hopefully. Several other people that we talked about podcasting with there too, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of people were interested in knowing if we had actual jobs.
That's true.
And
a lot of people did ask about that.
Absolutely shocked to hear that. Not only do we all have jobs, we're also married and have children.
Yeah.
And I think some people actually thought we were lying when we told them that.
A lot of people wanted to know that though. They were like, so do you guys do something else or is this it? Like most people wanted to know that.
Are they too stupid to do anything else? Or are they just so smart that they can do two things? What is it? Like?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that wanted to know that. When we were talking about John and his Wisconsin accent, it reminded me that Garrett Fear called me out the one day. I can't remember what it was that I said, but he really laid into me. Like he didn't even let me finish my sentence, and he was going off on a ridiculous version of our accent or my accent or whatever it was, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
And I forget. I'm like, I suppose we do sound funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do.
Yeah.
Several people told us that they think we are super funny and marketing geniuses, which is always funny to hear those things. And then once we had the sign up that said "Don't buy our hats," several people stopped in their tracks and just shook their head and walked away. A few people had to ask us, and then a few people that are in on the joke had to laugh a lot about it.
Which there's things like that we figured out here for our Arnold and other future events. There's going to be some different fun thing, like what you said. We're taking our booth and turning it into more of a meme.
Yeah, anything we can do to kind of make our booth a meme just seems to be worth it at this point.
Because a few of those things that we have done have worked out really well, so we're going to really lean on that now and turn the booth into a meme thing.
It's going to be really tough. We kind of have to ride the line here, Tanner, between having an efficient booth that can sell stuff and also a booth that is meme worthy enough to be talked about.
You know about the riding the line.
I know, and it's not allowed. So I guess we'll just have to actually just go all in on both then, huh?
Sales wise, we sold a pretty good amount of product, I think.
Yeah.
But there's also a shitload of expenses that go into this
we sold several $1,000s worth of stuff.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near what you sell at the Arnold because the Arnold has
100,000
plus, and this thing, like we said, had 500 to 700. So just the math tells you right there that you're going to sell way less stuff.
It does seem like the people that were there did a really good job supporting the vendors, though.
And there was a lot of people, and you got to give them credit that it was just like they started our booth,
went down the
line. There was only like 5 booths there.
Yeah.
And they just went down the line and bought something from every single one of them. And that is so cool that people do that.
Yep.
But when you look at, the booth was like $1,000.
Yep.
We had to get a hotel room for, and then we didn't even talk. Well, let's say this too. We decided Sunday we're packing up shop. Like, we don't want to drive because we didn't know if we were going to stay Sunday night and then drive all the way back on Monday, or if we would drive half. Like once the weekend started going, we figured out we'll probably drive halfway back Sunday night and then finish the drive Monday. Because with stops, it ends up being about 9 hours.
Yep.
And so we're tearing down, trying to get out of there, hit the road, and we're going. And we're kind of going a little farther, and then it's like, we could just keep going.
Yeah.
And then we're like, maybe we could stop in Sioux Falls. That's 3 hours away. But then it's like, but we're
By
only
the time
3 hours away.
Like, what's 3 more hours?
Yeah, it's like 9. It's going to be around 9-ish. So we could be home by midnight. That's not that bad. And so we ended up actually driving all the way home after the meet on Sunday. We didn't get home till about 1. And I was really, I didn't drive, Tanner. You drove the whole way.
Yeah.
And I was like at the level of tired where it feels like I'm hallucinating because the lights are messing with your eyes and you're trying to stay awake.
We've been driving for like 4 hours in the dark.
And I've ate so many sunflower seeds. It feels like I have a hole in my mouth. So I'm just running out of tricks to keep me awake.
We did have plenty of time to talk Massenomics shop though. We got a lot of good Massenomics talk in there. There was
a solid 9 hours of talking on the way there and on the way back, on top of what we talked about all day, every day. So basically we got to talk about Massenomics all day nonstop for 3 straight days, which is pretty much the goal in life, right?
Yeah. And to put a bow on the economics of it.
Yeah. So I guess, back to that, the booth, it's not cheap, and we got to pay for gas. Ends up being a couple $100.
Yeah.
You get a hotel room for 2 nights,
$100,
several $100s.
Eat several meals.
Yeah. You got to eat for a few days. It's a decent amount of money. We did have a Lyft ride in there, some Grubhub getting food to us.
Yeah.
Just some other little expenses getting ready for
pretty easy to spend a couple $1,000s. Get it?
Yes. Yes. And so is it like a thing where you say, we made several $1,000s, or we sold several $1,000s worth of t-shirts, but then you get done, you go, it's kind of probably
it's like a push or a wash on the economics only of it.
Yes. Yeah. When you look at it from that point, and that's also assuming your time is worth $0,
which was like, 12-hour days every day of like working
and not counting the prep and getting inventory out and back.
Yeah.
in.
Even just when we, like the next day on trying to get inventory back into.
Tanner and I both have jobs where we get paid more than $0. So fortunately for us, our time's not worth $0. Yeah. But unfortunately for this, it makes it look worse if you think about it from that way.
Right.
But the real win for the weekend for this is the networking, getting in front of people. Because,
and it's just fun to meet all the.
Yes.
It's
just
fun.
be out there in the stuff. Be part of something that feels like
just
it's
like,
relevant.
these guys are here at this big meet, like they are something. And it is just fun. Like the funnest part by far is just talking to anyone that's like interested in Massenomics.
Yeah.
That is really fun.
Yeah.
I do love
people
that.
say, I've been listening for actually there's even a few people that just said, I was looking for like a video on John Hack and I saw your podcast and then I just started listening to you guys.
Yeah,
like there was some people that had stories where you could switch out names to someone different, and that's how they found us. And they said, I just started listening a few months ago. And it's the listener like that is always so funny to me because you started listening a few months ago. Man, you really jumped into something that had to, for a while, be like, what am I listening to?
You always
here?
start to think that everyone's been listening the whole time, and that's not true in almost all cases.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the Showdown.
Yeah. So overall, it was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, we showed up to Showdown. We made good time, and you can't put a price on making good time. So
you can't put a price on making good time. That is what they say.
That's what everyone always says. Yeah.
So, anything else, Tanner?
What did you want to rank the
rank the foods? Okay. So start at the worst. The worst was the Omaha for me. The worst was the
Wendy's.
Omaha Wendy's.
I was gonna say Omaha Wendy's also.
Unless something changed, Wendy's could have changed. I'll admit I haven't had a ton of Wendy's.
We're in
lately.
a rough part of Omaha, so it's felt like
it didn't feel very nice. But maybe post-COVID things are different. I used to eat Wendy's like once a week for probably a year or more, and I'd always get the Son of Baconator. It was the perfect combination, perfect ratio of meat to bacon. You can get the bigger one. You get the Baconator, but I always feel like there's so much meat in comparison to the bacon. It didn't balance out. So I get the Son of Baconator. It's the perfect 2 patties with cheese and the bacon, and it all works. And we go there, and I get the Son of Baconator, and we're kind of trying to get out of town, and I'm looking at my phone, so I'm not eating right away. So I'm eating the fries, and I think I said right away, I'm like, these are really bad fries, Dan. You didn't get fries, so you didn't have to worry about that, but they were bad fries. And so then when I got to the sandwich, I couldn't figure out what was going on because you got 2 sandwiches. You got the like junior bacon cheeseburger or whatever.
Right.
And it really felt like we had 2 of those. But one of them was in the cheap paper wrapping. Yeah. And one was in the nice Son of Baconator wrapping. Yeah. But my Son of Baconator for some reason only had 1 patty.
Yeah, it didn't
which at that point doesn't really make it a $7 burger anymore now, does it?
No.
And besides being like a $7 burger with 1 patty, it was shitty too.
Yeah,
It wasn't very fresh. I think we were in Omaha around 7-ish, so it's not like it wasn't dinner time.
That was prime time.
And that was for sure my worst meal of the weekend.
I am going to agree. Wendy's was the worst. So Wendy's hands down was the worst of the trip.
And I like Wendy's a lot.
Yeah.
I think we also have
And
a
I
good.
tolerate Wendy's.
I think
Wendy's is fine.
I think we're privileged to have a pretty probably above average Wendy's in our town. But
what was the second worst?
The second
I'm
worst
leaning between two choices
So
here.
yeah, I think for me, I'm probably gonna go with the Chili's. And it was fine. It was Chili's. You don't have high expectations.
We got our baby back, baby.
We got our baby back. But it's a close one with that other restaurant that we can't remember the name of.
Yeah.
Because you got the chicken fried steak.
So
Or chicken fried chicken. You got chicken fried chicken.
Fried chicken. My second worst is that restaurant that we ate at on Saturday night.
Normally, it seems like chicken fried steak, chicken fried chicken, you get a massive portion.
Oh, I got horseshit proportions on
and
that
yours
thing.
was like slightly bigger than a burger.
And just like a little dollop of mashed potatoes off to the side.
And
like,
just a tiny dollop of gravy.
Yeah.
I got the Philly cheesesteak because I like the Philly cheesesteak everywhere. And it seems like if a restaurant messes that up, then you should never go back there because all you got to do is slice thinly sliced meat, saute onions and peppers, and put cheese on it.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't
Yours
be that
seemed
hard.
better than mine.
And mine was a big hoagie.
Yeah, you got
stuffed
way
and loaded.
more food than
And
mine.
I also, for my side,
I was like,
did the
damn
loaded,
it, I'm hungry.
I did the loaded chili baked potato.
That looked way better
which
than
that
the
baked
shit I
potato
got.
was also probably bigger than your meal too.
Your baked potato had more meat in it than my chicken did.
I think it did.
I
think it did, and that's why that was
was
a big
like,
meal.
huh.
I
I took a seriously wrong turn somewhere here.
That was a big meal, and it was pretty good. So I was happy with that. So
they made a pretty stiff vodka cranberry though.
yeah, you did.
I was like,
yeah, you did take a drink of it, and it did seem like the type of place that would make a stiff drink.
They did make a stiff drink.
I had beers, so I didn't get to experience that part of it.
That was my second worst. My third worst is the Chili's, and the Chili's I got
the brisket
the
quesadilla.
quesadillas there. Yeah. And that was all right. I mean, it was Chili's,
Yeah. So we're flip-flopped on that one.
Yeah.
And then so we're down to the final two now, I believe.
Right.
Because we had Wine Bros twice.
Yes. And
then we had chicken and a pickle. And this one's really tough for me.
Okay, I know it. So these are certainly 1 and 1A. And
oh yeah,
else
this was for sure
F
the
and
winner,
FA.
the winner and the runner-up, and everything else is just the rest.
Yeah.
And this is by a very tiny margin. And I would also say it depends on the day and what I'm feeling, but I think I might give Hawaiian Bros the edge over chicken and a pickle.
For me, Hawaiian Bros is better than chicken and a pickle.
For me, they're very close.
Chicken and a pickle was very good. It's almost like fast casual. The way it is, you come in and you like get a seat, and a waitress comes and she takes your drink order. But then you like go up, you get your food whenever you want.
Well, you go up to the counter and order, and then they just bring it out when it's done.
And very good food, like a simple menu. Everything seemed to be made really well. It's very good. But Hawaiian Bros is one of those few places that I could literally eat every day for 6 months and still want to eat it on the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is in a very small category of where it's just like, oh, this is always good no matter what.
Ever have to say I don't have an appetite for meat and rice.
Right. Yes.
And it's not like overly flavored in Hawaiian. I don't know what Hawaiian. I've been to Hawaii and I don't really know what Hawaiian flavors are. I think they're kind of Asian influenced and maybe some American. I don't really know for sure, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just really good flavored meat and rice.
Yes.
It's hard to mess that up.
So we're going to that's the champion.
For you. Oh, yeah. We both said that. Yes, we both said that. Yes. And for me, just barely behind is chicken and pickle.
Yeah. Chicken and pickle, very good.
So that is the food review. Yeah. Is that the trip?
That's the showdown in a nutshell.
That is the showdown?
I do have overrated, underrated prepared for us here today.
Should I read an ad first?
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I got to go visit my friends here at Spud Inc.
I'm going to go visit my friends on the Discord.
Good luck. Good luck. Oh, Spud Inc., just show me what new products you have so I can tell the good people. Oh, what do we have here? Okay. I believe this is a new Spud product. Today's episode is brought to you by Spud Inc. and the 250 centimeter flash release knee wraps regular. the Spud Inc. 250 centimeter flash release knee wraps regular. Okay, I'm just going to read the description, I guess. In a competition or max effort lift, we as humans are always looking for ways to improve performance and eliminate critical preparation time, especially on the squat. It's critical to have the tightest knee wrap possible for support and rebound. And if you understand this, then you will love the new flash release knee wraps from Spud Inc. In order to get the most out of a knee wrap, it takes many revolutions pulling around the knee to full extension on both sides around the leg. At the end, when it's time to tuck and pull, the previous wrap is usually too tight to get your fingers in and pull the wrap to pull the end through, and it's very difficult and time-consuming, often elevating already high anxiety of the lifters. Many tools used to pull that, your standard vice grips, pliers, all that, but it's a lot of work, your circulation's cut off, and it's not a good time. Bottom line is, time is precious and can be dire in these situations, and up until now, that's just how it was. But the folks at Spud Inc. have your solution. Always wanting you to get the most and best out of your lifting, they came up with the Flash Release Wrap. It is a simple but effective add-on to their popular knee wrap. You have a strap with a pull-through tab to get the wrap through quicker, and another strap with a pull tab to release it immediately. Additionally, they have added an additional strap to the release to give you the ability to pull the wrap through and secure it more firmly for your squat or any other leg lift like the leg press, hack squat, etc. Save your fingers and your time with flash. This wrap will save every one of us. Thank you, Spud Inc., for your support. You can check out the flash release knee wraps at spud-inc-straps.com.
All right. Next up, overrated, underrated. Everyone's favorite game.
Did you get caught up on the Discord, Tanner?
Yeah, the world's fastest growing game. Overrated or underrated. Podcast fastest growing segment. So, Tommy, overrated or underrated? Nelly.
Oh. Okay.
Not Furtado.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got to backpedal now.
Yeah.
So we did have Nelly at our county fair. What was that? 2 months ago? A little over a month ago?
Yes.
And, I did drink a lot before I went, but I had a pretty good time there. But Nelly, you didn't say Nelly concert. You didn't say
Nope, just
Nelly.
Nelly.
You just said Nelly.
Could also be Nelly the actor. You figure that in. Whatever that football movie was that he was in.
Longest Yard.
I
don't know. I still think Nelly's probably a little overrated. I think he's a little overrated.
Okay, overrated on Nelly. Overrated or underrated? Pickleball.
God, this would really help if I'd played or knew the rules of it.
That would be relevant.
I feel like it's sort of kind of one of those. If you're under 50, it's kind of an underground game. I don't think it's real popular with the younger generation.
I think it's growing though.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it is picking up in popularity.
They just built some pickleball courts in western northeast South Dakota.
They did. I think I probably got to say it's underrated. I don't think many people know about it, and I think it's probably gaining in popularity for a reason. So I'll give it the underrated here.
Don't want to spoil anything, but we're thinking about also, along with our pizza shop, opening a chicken and pickle.
Pizza and a pickle.
Yeah. Starts to make less
pizza
sense.
And pickleball courts. And the great thing around here is pickleball is only tolerable outside for like a couple months of the year. So it's really valuable real estate that we're...
Oh, talking about the CrossFit gym. It's this, like, one side of it's complete windows and stuff. Like, this is this old industrial thing. And I'm like...
I think they said it backed up to, like, a rail line.
Yeah,
they?
I think so. And, this works in Kansas City, but, like, we're in there thinking, oh my
this
God,
building,
you could never
really
heat
cool.
this thing.
Yeah, this building's really cool, and it's not that different, actually, than the Massenomics gym building.
Right, like the upstairs part of our building. Yeah.
But you can look, it's just bare exposed wood up top. That building would cost $10 million a year to run in South Dakota.
You could not heat that. I don't think you could get it hot, or get it warm in the mid-dead of winter
and
here.
Then in the summer, it would just be 1,000,000 degrees all the time in there and super humid.
Overrated or underrated? Holiday Inn Expresses.
So this is, as someone that has worked in the hospitality, I wouldn't say worked in a job that supported the hospitality.
Adjacent to
the hospitality industry, that provided some support services to the hospitality industry. I feel like I learned a lot. And what I basically learned at that time was that if you value a good night of sleep, odds are you're going to come out ahead and be in the best situation if you don't stay at a Choice or a Wyndham property. Now, both of those brands, they're brands that have portfolios of 10 plus hotels. And with that, there is a range. There's some that are a little less desirable and some that are a little more desirable. But for the most part, if you can stay away from Choice and Wyndham properties, you should, in my experience. And what should you go to? You should stay at an IHG property or a Hilton property. So those would be your Holiday Inns, your Holiday Inn Expresses, your Hilton Inns, your, I think it's Fairfields, all that stuff. You're usually going to have a better, like they're going to have amenities. They'll probably have breakfast, nicer beds and all that stuff. More than one pillow.
Yeah. Big Alex in the Discord said Holiday Inn Express under, the automatic pancake machine over. I've got to agree. The automatic pancake machine took like 2 minutes and then spit out. You can't, if you're just listening, you can't tell, but I'm like, what's this the comparable size of? Like this diameter of a baseball, only flat. Yeah. 2 pancakes like that. And I'm like, really? That's what I waited for?
Yeah.
Terrible. So yeah, I agree on that. Also, other interesting thing, Big Joey said, I'll do a pickleback. And I think that's a good, have you ever had a pickleback?
I haven't, but I know what it is.
I like a pickleback jack.
Well,
is a great
and I think we've probably talked about this even on here, is around this part of the country, people enjoy their beers with pickles in them, and people also enjoy their beers with tomato sauce, tomato juice, and pickles. So pickles are a hot commodity around these parts.
For anyone that doesn't know, like the concept of the pickleback, it's you take. In what I like is a pickleback Jack. You take the shot of Jack Daniels and immediately chase it with a shot of pickle juice. They like, it is the craziest thing. Just a shot alone of Jack Daniels would make me make this face go like,
yeah.
Or just a shot of pickle juice would also kind of make me go like, ee. But when you take both in sequence, it tastes like they just like eliminate each other. It's it's the wildest thing.
But Tanner, the $1 million question is, what about pickled cucumbers?
Pickled cucumbers rearing its ugly head again. A classic Massenomics throwback.
Can't seem to shake those things.
Pickled cukes. So that wraps up overrated, underrated.
What was the last one?
Oh wait, just kidding. That doesn't quite wrap us up.
But what was the one we were just on?
Holiday Inn Express.
I said underrated. Okay. Underrated.
Okay, last one. This one's for all the marbles, Tommy. Your whole performance on today's show is kind of weighs on this last one. So, overrated or underrated Hawaiian food?
I'm now saying underrated.
For what did I? Apparently, that's what Hawaiian food is. I didn't know that that's what it was.
When I went to Hawaii, the closest thing to feeling like this is Hawaiian food is it had a few places that, obviously, it's Hawaii. They're in the ocean. They have good seafood, and it just that to me is to be expected. If you can't get good seafood in Hawaii, like where do you get seafood at? So that was good. And then a few places had poke bowls, which was kind of like what we had, just a big bowl full of rice with a bunch of good meat in it, whether that's seafood or some type of barbecued meat or something.
Yeah.
So I had a few places like that. That was good. But Hawaiian Bros has turned me into a firm believer that Hawaiian food is underrated.
Yeah.
And why does that concept not exist in more places? I don't get that.
That's the third restaurant that we're going to open in Aberdeen.
Our Hawaiian pizza pickle place.
Oh, it's all one.
Hawaiian pizza, pickles, and more.
Yeah.
And milk. Milk.
Not strawberry, though.
Wow,
Never strawberry. A lot of people are offended by the strawberry milk comments.
You know, it's funny, actually, that we talked about strawberry milk and how disgusting it was. And this week, my wife, for the first time ever, comes home from the grocery store with strawberry Wheaties, where they have the strawberry, or not Wheaties,
Frosted Flakes or something.
Mini wheats, the frosted mini wheats,
okay.
but with the strawberry frosting on them, which would be my last choice always. But they were actually kind of good. I just eat them dry because they're like a little snack.
But
I still say no. Strawberry milk and all that stuff.
It's a little backtracking.
No. I'm still not in favor of that.
I'm not really in favor of that myself. So that wraps up overrated or underrated. I did have a couple.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
I'm giving myself the cool beans. Those are self-serving cool beans.
Yes. Had a couple podcast reviews I wanted to read. These are all 5 stars. Let's hit it. 5 out of 5 stars, titled Haha. And this is from CFG Fan. I liked it when they made that lifting joke. Great stuff. Real good review there. We'll go to the next one. 5 out of 5 stars. Deadlift banner, please, or a lift hat. I'm not picky. That's the title and their name combination. And they said, I'm only leaving a review because I heard a rumor that anyone who gives the lifting podcast about nothing a 5-star review, Tanner will give you a free gym flag. The rumor is false, and it was started by me, but now my expectations are set, and if they're not fulfilled, I will be upset and moody for 36 hours.
Oh.
Well, that was from April 5th, so I think that's all.
It's all
passed.
water under the bridge now.
This one is from Strong_Sarah. Somewhat family friendly. I make my kids listen to this in the car with me and my 8-year-old daughter. My kids listen to this in the car with me, and my 8-year-old daughter said she likes it because those guys are kind of funny. So do with that what you will. Cool beans. Okay.
I'll give that a seal of approval.
Yes. This last one's from Conspiracy Sandy, and it's titled It's Okay. And it says, this is my least favorite conspiracy podcast.
I like that.
Yes. Not many hot take conspiracies on this one.
Nope, not a whole lot of them. Kind of lacking in that department.
Yeah. My one hot take from this was, though, that the powerlifting community scene thing is pretty cool, you know, when you get it in real in person like that.
That is a spicy take, Tanner.
Also, not only what we said, like everyone's cool and nice and like all this unity and stuff together, but any of the negative stuff from the internet is like completely disappeared in person.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's almost like the people that leave negative comments online
don't do that shit in real
regular
life.
people.
Well, and also like even people that would don't actually do that in person.
Yeah.
Like because that's
the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was the showdown.
That was the showdown. And that was our first ever fully live Discord episode.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
So hopefully the supporting members enjoyed it. If you listen to this and heard us mention the Discord about 30 times and want to know more about it, all you would need to do is sign up to become a supporting member. There's a number of different levels in there, but actually all of those will get you in on the Discord community. That community is just full of a bunch of crazy goofballs over there.
Yeah, so go to our store. It's in the store. You'll find the Massenomics supporting member, or if you want to save time, you can type in massenomics.com/join and go directly to that product.
Time-saving hack.
Yep, you can't be wasting any time because you need to get in the community, into the Discord as fast as possible. When you get signed up, you'll get an email that will invite you to the Discord. You'll also find a little discount code waiting for you in there for being such a loyal member. And there's probably some other perks that will happen too. There always is some little.
There's
other
really
perks,
honestly too many for us to mention all of them.
I'm really curious. The people that maybe weren't paying attention, didn't know this was going on. If they have notifications turned on their phone and they were sleeping at all during this, they're going to wake up with 10 billion notifications.
Yeah. Oh, yes. True. True.
Because it's really going on. So.
Yes. Okay. Otherwise, our stuff, we did bring home some stuff from Kansas City, so you can still purchase things in our shop. We recently restocked the lift shirt, the deadlifter shirt, the lift hard, live easy skull shirt, and that other one is a new one that I can't talk about yet. So
a new one. We do also have a revolutionary new product coming.
We have now.
It's in our hands.
We showcased it to a few select people at the Showdown Meet.
It was met with lots of laughs, and yeah, of course, you guys. That was kind of the unanimous review.
That's and that product is something much unlike anything we've ever made before. That is completely stepping out of.
You can't wear it on your body.
You cannot wear it on your body. I mean, maybe you could. It'd be weird.
It's definitely not what it's for.
Yeah. What if you had really gauged ears?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
If you wanted to rip them out, I guess.
So be on the lookout for that product coming soon. There's also some different hats that people saw in a few pictures and that sort of thing from the Showdown that we haven't released on the site yet. But we do not want anyone to buy those, so don't look for those anytime
Those are
soon.
just for show. Those aren't for real.
Don't look for those anytime soon.
Yeah.
Especially with them being hats and all.
Yeah. So yeah, we do have a drop coming in a couple weeks here.
Yep.
Not too far away. Be here before you know it. And then we're into just the last stretch of the year.
The home stretch, as they might say.
Bringing her on home.
Yes.
All right.
Make sure to like us on YouTube. Hop in on the Race for First comment every week when that episode publishes.
Spicy as ever.
So you can ring the bell there to make sure you got a fair shot at getting first comment on the YouTube video when it publishes. Like us on Facebook. Please leave us one of those 5-star reviews. Tommy and I were just talking about some of our plans for when we hit the 400 mark. But if you guys don't hit us with some reviews, it's going to just take longer to get to
happen.
Yeah.
Only you can make those plans happen.
So please make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We would greatly appreciate that. Buy anything from our store. I got a new phone today, but maybe we could talk about that more next time.
Yeah. Tanner, Mr. iPhone 13 Pro over here.
Because I am a pro.
Tanner, you're just freaking.
I don't know if you're watching this
Mr.
on YouTube,
Silicon Valley over
this
here.
has a lot of cameras on the back of it.
There's actually more cameras on that phone than there is in this room right now, which is
and there's a lot of cameras
because
in this
there
room.
is a lot going on.
Yeah. Stay tuned next week for more tech tips.
Yeah.
Will I
tech
know how to
tips
use
with
my
Tanner.
phone
I
by
like
then? Stay tuned. Tommy, where do they find you on the grams?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.